This morning, we are learning more about the person who recorded this disturbing video showing the final moments of 25-year-old Ahmaud Arbery's life.
He's in his yard, and this starts happening in front of him. He gets in his car, and he's trying to document that.
Kevin Goff says his client, William Bryan, noticed Arbery running, followed by a white truck. Inside, Gregory and Travis McMichael, both father and son, armed. Son Travis gets out of the truck, and after a struggle, gunshots. Arbery shot dead. In a police report, Gregory McMichael says he and his son followed Arbery because they thought he was a suspect in recent break-ins. McMichael told police Arbery began to violently attack Travis and that his son shot in self-defense. But Arbery's family says their son was just out for a Sunday jog, unarmed.
He just didn't deserve to go out like that.
Thursday, more than 10 weeks after the February shooting, both McMichaels were arrested and charged with murder.
How crucial was this video in leading you to an arrest?
Well, certainly it's important. I mean, every piece of evidence is, but certainly that's an important piece of evidence.
He says the Georgia Bureau of Investigation is looking into anyone who may have possibly been connected, including Bryant, whose attorney says he showed police his video immediately and was just a witness.
He was trying to get his picture.
He was trying to get a picture of Mr. Arbery?
Yeah.
Why?
Because there had been a number of crimes in the neighborhood, and he didn't recognize him, and a vehicle that he did recognize was following him.
Anybody who participated in that should be held accountable as well.
On Friday, what would have been Arbery's 26th birthday, thousands across the country took to the pavement in a virtual run of support using the hashtag #IRunWithMaud.